Hey, good evening. I'm Dan Fitzpatrick at StockMarketMentor.com, and it is June 22nd. That's Monday, and I want to look at Fitbit here. Stock's had a heck of a run from the first day when it actually closed lower on the day, but it was way up from the price that the company got paid for, and since that time the stock's been on fire. I like the Fitbit wrist thingy. It's in my drawer. I've never worn it, but it sure looks nice. It looks like it would be fine to wear. It's just kind of a pain in the butt because you got to plug it into your computer and this and that and the other thing. And I have this little thing called the Jawbone, which works amazingly well with my Apple iPhone. I have no issues. But with that said, I'm sure there's a lot of redeeming qualities for Fitbit. Number one, they now have a ticker. Jawbone would be JBNE, whatever. So let's talk about Fitbit, though. Not the company, not the wrist thing that everybody has in their drawer, but instead the stock. And more particular, let's look at the 5-minute chart even on this, okay? This is the history of the world according to Fitbit. This is it. This is when the stock first started trading. I want you to notice something. First of all, of course, it's moving higher. But more importantly, the stock drifts sideways virtually all day, breaks out in the morning and moves up. Fairly quickly, boom, that's the end of that. The stock kind of sells off or drifts sideways, not too, really no activity. The next day, by the way, there's only so much price data I have here. The next day, boom, another gap up, just like we saw on Friday. The stock moves higher up until it stops, and then it never returns to that level. So as we look at this at 37.60, what's my bet that the stock's going to do tomorrow? My bet is it's going to gap up to wherever it's going to gap up to. It's going to flutter around for 3, 4, 5 minutes or so, and then it will start moving higher again. If it does that, you want to be on board, and maybe the stock's just going to continue to move, and your best move is just to hold the stock until it gets to $100, and then you can sell it, whatever. I'm just talking about this as a trade, and the upshot is this. If the stock gaps up in the morning, wait for a bottom to form, whatever that is, like say during the first 5 minutes, kind of like this one. Okay, if the stock starts drifting higher then you go ahead and buy the stock, and you have a stop just a little bit below where that bottom was, 5, 10 minutes in, 2 minutes in, whatever. Then you can play, you can trade, you can take advantage of this type of move like it's done before, and you can go ahead and hold it if you want to, or you can just wait until the stock, and it's very clear when it stops. It's up and then down, and then it's over. Okay? It's up and then it's down, and then it's over. You don't get this up and down and up and down and then up again and down, oh, and then up again. You don't get this kind of volatility in this stock. It's first thing in the morning when all the lemmings are buying because they got to get Fitbit. Stock moves up a little bit more, and then there's no more buying. Okay? The retail public is done buying, and when the retail public is done buying, the stock stops moving higher. So I want you to take advantage of this dynamic. As long as this dynamic continues, you're going to be making money this way. And by the way, another way that you can take advantage of this. So I just got interrupted by a phone call, so I'm not exactly sure what word in the sentence that I had to stop at. But here's what I was going to say. If you want, it's not going to help you on this one right here, right now, but if you want to get a head start on this type of thing, when you see this dynamic, then what you do is you buy right towards the close. Buy 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes before the close, and then if that trend continues, you're going to get that price appreciation of the gap as opposed to missing out on the space between the close and then the open and then hoping that you get a continuation. There's one thing you got to keep in mind. Okay, this is in a quiet period here. Okay, you're not going to get an analyst that's going to come out and downgrade Fitbit on valuation at 37.65. You know, everything that was really known about the company a week ago is still known about it now. Again, I've got a really nice one in my drawer, and it's not gathering dust. Okay, well, it is a little bit. But the point is, you can make a bet, and that's really what it is. You can make a bet at the end of the day. Just make it small enough to where if the stock instead gaps down, you're not doing the freak out and selling the stock just before buyers come and take it back up. So you can get this head start at the end of the day on a stock that's gappy and the trend is clear, or you can see the morning move like this. It is a pattern, so you wait for the gap, you buy the stock, and then you pray that the morning move pattern continues. That's how you trade Fitbit. Okay, members, over to the strategy session. Got a lot of stocks that we're looking at, particularly Ambarella and GoPro.